Welcome back, fishing friends, to the worldwide headquarters of the Pinhook Fishing Club. Alright, I'm going to do some tying. I hadn't done any jig tying in quite a while. I mean, I've tinkered a little bit, but not like full scale getting into it. So these I have to try to get right. Now, this is a learning process for me, but I've got to try to hone that in. And if I do have some that don't really come out right, they're going into the scrap pile. I'm going to redo them somehow later. But we're going to try to get these rolling so I get really proficient at it, because I do have some bigger jigs that are coming in that I'm going to tie for like walleye, smallmouth, and largemouth. Because next summer, when I'm on the river where I was just whacking those fish with the rattle traps, I want to try it with a hair jig, and we're going to see how that goes. But for now, we're going to tie these crappie ones, and we're gonna see how these newly painted jig heads are gonna turn out. I had that little tool in the last video. I talked about how I just dipped it in the paint, and then I just barely dipped it on each side of the head. They're not perfect, but it does make it look kind of cool. Not quite like a 3D eye or a big eye or a pop eye, but sort of close. Alright, so I'm gonna get you in the stand here, and we're gonna get started. It is going to be a different view. You're not going to be able to really see my face. It's going to be like more chest. Oh yeah, I got my bomber, old school bomber bait company shirt. Got the Bill Lewis, the rattle trap autographed Chris Zaldain cap from Lake Fork this year. Alright, let's get started, and let's see how far we can get. Alright guys, this is going to be hit or miss. I hope that this is in the right view here. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm just going to make the video, and what happens, what happens. I'm down to the last chartreuse head, the one that I put like the little magenta dots on them. I should probably do, I got one of my fishing videos going on back there in the background. I always like to have the playlist going. Let me get the volume down here. But, I thought about putting like some hardener on there to protect it a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Okay, so, oh yeah, here's a little tool that I was dipping in the paint, and then I was just putting the eyes on. Alright guys, my Zap, I love using that Zap head cement, and the thing is, it's just getting too dried up, and it's the lid's getting too tough to take off, and it's just a mess. So I'm using this Loon Outdoors stuff. So I always put a little bit on the shank here, just to get things stabilized. I'm going to be using red, so, and then I try to get it down the shank just a little bit. You can hear in the background I caught a giant catfish. That was a video from what, like 3 years ago? So, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. My name's Alan, and I'm usually making some kind of fishing video, but I make other videos too. I just hadn't done any of those lately. Let me get that, turn that down a bit. I've done like points of interest videos. I've also done ASMR stuff, because a friend of mine, she was watching the videos, and she's like, in the background had the video going, and she could hear the rushing water from the trout videos. And she's like, you need to do an ASMR video. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? Anyway, so she explained it, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see what you mean here. So we went ahead and or I went ahead and did it, and she said I did a nice job. So I don't know if that's accurate or not, but they're there, and the people do watch them. All right, guys, we're gonna try something different. I'm gonna try to put like a little tail on here. We're gonna see how this works. The thing is, I forgot I got the ceiling fan on, and you know what happens when I have the ceiling fan on? Stuff starts blowing all over the place. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a feather on here first. I know it doesn't look like much now, but it will. It'll fluff out. And then we're going to do this orange bucktail around it. We're going to see how that works. Not too much. That's the thing I noticed in some of the stuff I've done, is sometimes I put way too much on there. I need to get just the right amount. And we're going to put 1 wrap, 2 wraps, and then now if I need to spread it or adjust it, that's what we're going to do. Guess it'll be alright. So remember, I'm no expert at this, but I am going to try to make them a little better. Okay, now I'm going to put some on the belly down there. Not a lot, just a bit. The thing is, like, I've been working all day long, and you know, teaching school, man, can really put the stress on you. So if you have something that when you come home you can just relax, like if I don't have a video, like for copyright stuff, I put one of my videos on, but a lot of times I just have music playing in the background while I'm tying. And ooh, that's not gonna look half bad. I know right now it's looking a little cattywampus in there, but anyway, so it's super relaxing just to be able to do this. Okay, now this, I have a whip finishing tool, but you know what, I can't stand using it. So hang on, guys. The camera's gonna move around here for a minute. I've got some braid hanging here I gotta get rid of, and let me see if I can trim it without moving too much stuff. How did I get braid over here? You guys are probably like, hey, what is he doing? This is amateur hour. This is sitting like on a, it's like a package, so I can get it elevated. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, so I don't have the official whip finish tool. I mean, I have it, but I don't like using it. I can do it with just my fingers now. And the other thing is, I should probably be wearing my glasses doing this, and of course I'm not. Here they are. Let's get a little bit of head cement on there. This is this loon. Just a little bit. Okay, so now we've got this little stray right here, but the feather is hanging out in there, right in there. It doesn't look like much, but trust me, it's gonna flare out. And I've got the length just about where I want it. I try sometimes to cut it off or to have them right at the hook, but with crappie it can extend a little bit. They don't really swipe much. Now what I need to do is, this is where I always have my trouble. I always have some stragglers sticking out up around the head, and it's just hard for me to get those under control. Man, check this one out. This one's gonna look good, and I don't have to worry about gluing eyes on. Okay, we're gonna set him over there. We've reached a milestone. We have now officially used up all the chartreuse jig heads. Now we're gonna go to the white ones. And the white ones, I also did kind of like that magenta paint color right there. for the eyeball. Now this one, we're going to change up a little bit. We're going to put this guy in here. We're going to be doing some good old-fashioned turkey feathers from the farm on this guy with a little bit of, where's my flash? Of course, it's nowhere near me. Man, see, that's the thing when you're dealing with all this stuff, there's like fluff everywhere. All right, look at all this flash. So we're gonna get some that's gonna, geez Louise, I'm spilling it everywhere. We're gonna get some that's gonna match that, the head on that thing, and we're gonna go with this color, which I have used before, and it looks really nice in there. There you can see that. Alright, I'm going to lay that down there. And I'm still going to use red. You know, a lot of people change the line color they're going to use. I don't mind using red one bit. If anything, it's going to attract a little bit of attention. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. I hit that bag that this is sitting on. A little snip there. Some turkey feathers from the farm. We're going to get these right here. Now, this isn't hackle. These are actual feathers that I picked up from our turkey buildings. They're in Iowa. Let's get this going. My target is to try to get not so much down the collar. See how I went down the collar a little too much? A lot of guys do it differently, but I kind of want to get it like maybe that far. So that's a goal I got to work on. Alright, let's get this little bit here. Guys, this color right here was money in that dirty water up in Iowa, that stained water. The white feathers. And also those pheasant feathers. That a friend of mine gave me. Her family donated them. Alright, let's get our flash. Yep, that's going to match perfectly. So what I do is I loop it like this. And then I'll trim it. This is going to be long, but we can always trim it if it gets too long. And so sometimes I'll wrap it around the head like this, and sometimes I'll just lay it right on there. Like this. And then I get the wraps on. And there we go. Is it possible that I actually did this one exactly how I want it to go? Look at the flash right there. Now a lot of times you can put the flash on first and then the feathers. You can see how the flash is sitting up here. I don't mind that. I don't mind if it's rolling up here. I mean, I can add a couple feathers on top of it, but I don't think that's necessary. The fish isn't going to care if the flash is up here solo on the top. They really, I mean, honestly, they don't. But I can put just a little bit right here. What is the deal here? I'm just trying to break a sweat and it's nice and cool up here. Must have been the fajitas I ate with all that hot sauce. And had a grilled jalapeno pepper in there that was just perfect. There we go. This is going to look nice. Alright. That's going to work for me. I do have a lot of different craft hair and marabou. And there's a killer one that I make with gray and white that looks like a minnow. Man, those are nice. Actually, I should probably use the dark green heads for that. It's a good contrast. But I like doing the turkey feathers. I hadn't done them in quite a while. Since before I went to Iowa, you know, for this summer. Ooh, you see that? That's the kind of stuff that's going to drive me absolutely nuts. A lot of times I can go back in there and fix it later once I get the glue on, and then I can run it that way. Nope. I still have a little bit hanging off there. Rats. So there's always room for improvement. But for now, ooh, yeah, that does look a little rough. Let me see if I can smooth it out with this. Nope, we're going to have some problems with that. I'm going to have to trim that a little later, but look at that flash. See with the white right here? This thing is lethal in the water. This reflects light really well in clear water, and on a cloudy day, you'd be surprised at how the light ricochets off there. I'm going to trim it just a little bit at the back end, not much. And it just glistens in the light. And in murky water, it picks up a little bit. Alright, so this one came out nice, except for how I botched the... Let's see if I can fix this. Come on. There we go. Alright, looks like we're all set. Just a little dab of... We're good to go. Anyway, so I've had a chance to test out that Booyah Flashpoint. Had a blast doing it. The Bandit B-Shad, all these different lures. And I got to figure out my next challenge. I think it's going to be a crankbait challenge. But I think I can do a couple of them at the same time. So I can do a video for the crankbait challenge. And if that goes well, then I can jump over and do something like jigs or rattle traps. So I got to figure out what's going to be my backup plan if I do whack those fish quick enough so I can get a good video. If I get skunked, then all bets are off. I'm just going to free fish and have fun doing it. Alright, there we go. Alright guys, so now on this one, I'll show you how I can do the flash first. And this one's a little shorter, so I'm going to start it back further. There we go. And then we've got our feathers. I had a very interesting question one day via email. I don't know if the person was, worried that the question, might be taken as a noob question. But somebody asked me if I could tell from the feathers on the turkey if it was male or female. And no, I can't. Now on the pheasant, you can sometimes if it's a rooster, depending on where the colors are, if it's a hen. But if it's one, like the one that was donated to me, that's a rooster, because that one was, look at that, that's going to look good. A little bit off there. But yeah, for the turkey feathers, nah, you can't really tell. I'll show you guys. Comes right from the farm. And you can see down here the fuzz, there's a little bit of manure in there. So one of my friends is like, man, you're getting those feathers and they've got manure on them. Yes, actually most of them do, and I've had to not wash them completely, but kind of clean them up. Because if they come off the turkey in the turkey building, I don't go up there and pluck them. They're just in there laying around. The turkeys have a huge area where they can roam. Ooh, this one may have come out just about perfect. Yep. Man, I just love the simple white color it with a white jig head. Just a little bit of the red there. Yeah. So these are going to be, for me, I think some of the other ones I had that I did before that aren't that fantastic, I'll probably sell them. I know that sounds terrible, but what I'll do is I'll list them as, you know, hey, these are like maybe practice crappie jigs. I'll think of something, but trust me, people will buy them. I do use, I might have done this a little too short. I may not get to. I also do soft plastics for crappie fishing. I've done a ton of videos on that. I hadn't done one lately because there we go. My little crappie hole. I hadn't had much luck there. I have been fishing it, but I've been trying to use these crappie crankbaits, and not as many as the soft plastics, but I've got some new soft plastics I want to test out that I really hadn't spent a day like really going through them. Ooh, check that out. Now remember, that looks different here, but in the water, man, that flash, check that out. It's really satisfying to know that I've got the paint on there myself. I tied it, and this is going to hit. So I get excited when I get them out on the water for the first time. I'm like, man, I actually created this. All right. All right. We're going to do a couple more. I know these kind of sitting and talking videos, people are like, eh. Even for me, they're not the funnest to watch, but you know, it's something a little bit different. There's fly tires that I watch, painters that I watch, and I never skip through their stuff. I just let it roll and see what I can learn. I've picked up so much. I've done such, oops. I've picked up so many tips from a lot of people. And I have so much fun doing this. It's so relaxing. There we go. Yep, a little unorthodox with things still, but I don't care really. I mean, I do care, but some of the minor stuff I can overlook. Still using my classic Victorinox, aka Swiss Army knife. Man, that's just incredible. Alright guys, so that's a good match for the flash, but I'm going to go a little darker. We're going to go this one. Jeez Louise, even with my glasses on, this stuff is hard to see. Oh, let's go. Getting it measured out here, trimming. Alright, we'll do the same thing as we did the last one. We'll put this on first. I can show you how I'll do the head wrap. Just like this. And then I can even it out. You know, the reason why I don't is because of the time. Uh-oh. Actually, it's okay if it's down here towards the end, because it's going to get covered up. All right, let's go. Let's get us back up here. Yep, this looks good. We're all set. Let's get the feathers. Guys, I've got so many feathers I could tie just for the next few years. I got a box here with just tons of feathers. And you know we're not using them. Ooh, this is gonna look good. I need to polish up the wrap there, but see, look at this feather. I'm just barely trimming here. Sometimes I'll get right down to the bottom, but a lot of times right there is fine. So this summer I caught them. I didn't make a lot of videos on the crappie this summer because I was having so much fun testing a bunch of different lures and different things for bass and pike. But I'm telling you, these were great. You don't need a whole bunch. You just need enough to attract their attention. And it's gonna look good in the water. Man, that looks good right there. Let's get this out of the way. Got a text come in from Daisy. I gotta see what she wants. What's going on? It is a Friday night, so I can go out to eat. I'm not much of a person that drinks much. Once in a while. Really, I haven't done. Last time I mean, in the summertime I had like a beer or two here and there, but I just don't do it anymore. Part of it's because it's the type 2 diabetes. I got to be careful, but other than that, back, you know, in my college days, for sure, but not now. Check this out. Do I need to trim it just a little? No. Look at that. It hangs off a little bit far, but you know what? It's going to flow. That works just fine for me. Well, maybe I'll trim it just a little. Honestly, the crappie down here will hit bass baits. That's how big they are. We get both types. I mean, they get huge because we have a longer, warmer, I guess you could say, growing season, and they just really can grow. I mean, they have here they can eat year round and keep their appetite going. I know in the wintertime it gets cool and they may slow up a little bit, but honestly they can. Some of the best fishing I've done has been in December here. I've got some videos throwing a MEPS XD where I was just whacking fish left and right. Alright. Let's get this rolling. We'll do this one and then we'll get out of here. Unless you, hey, come back here. Unless you're here for the, because I'm going to keep tying, that's for sure. I'll probably do a live one here pretty soon, one night. See, this is a thing. Fat fingers, I'm playing baseball. I'm going to do this one a little different. I can't do it. Can't do it. We're just gonna get this in here. I was gonna do that first, and then get the base later. But my fingers, I'm starting to get arthritis in there. I noticed this summer I was holding a big bass in my left hand so I could take a picture with this hand. And I was holding the fish like this, and my knuckles were just burning. And I was like, what is going on here? And yeah, I didn't want to have any part of that. Part of it is because I played baseball so much in my younger years. And then, of course, I played football. And, you know, your body takes a beating. All right, we got the flash here. This one's a little... Ooh. There we go. This one's I'm going a little bit shorter to try to match where I trimmed that other one. But anyway, I just... it can be tricky holding this stuff with my fingers. What is that from Happy Gilmore? When Grandma's in the... she's in the, like, that retirement home, assisted living place. And who is it? Ben Stiller's having them, the old people there, like, do arts and crafts so he can sell it and make money. And she's like, Grandma's like, my fingers hurt. And he's like, what's that? My fingers hurt. And he's like, well, now your back's going to hurt because you just pull landscaping duty. And I used to laugh and laugh. And I'm starting to realize, hey, that's nothing to laugh about. Especially this summer. I was holding that bass. I was like, I had to switch hands. I was trying to do pictures. And it was for... not for PB, but, you know, to try to snap some lure footage and post it on Instagram. Instagram, it's Pinhook Fishing Club. You can go check that out. All right, look at this one. Easy. We'll do one more so I can use the rest of that flash. But I'm probably going to keep tying. I don't know, you guys want to hang out while I keep tying? You help the channel out. I try not to mention that too much. I don't really do this professionally, but, you know, it does help the channel if people stick around. Alright, so these are my little turkey feather specials, and yes, they work. I don't need to put any of that chenille. I've got chenille. Do you want me to do one with chenille and see how that goes? I've got it in there. It's red too. It might look cool. Check that out. I need to trim just a little bit. Yeah, we can try to do a chenille, guys. I hate it, but alright, we got this one. These are just killer. Alright. Here I start grumbling. I'm not a big chenille person, as I just mentioned. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like using jigs that have it. I mean, I have before. I'm just not impressed with it. The crappie, they don't care. I mean, I guess they do if you add a little bit of flash. I guess I shouldn't say they don't care, but this looks like something I'm gonna mess up. So we're going to see how this works. Now normally, I don't know if with the feathers you ever use chenille with a feather wrap. I can't remember. I'm not going to jump on YouTube and look and see. Whoa, what's up with this? It needs to cut. Usually you don't have to sharpen these blades on these Victorinoxes, but oh man, I'm starting to run a little low on this red thread. Good. I stopped by Cabela's on the way home, take a look at some Bill Lewis stuff, and of course I walked out with a Violet Flash rattle trap, and the stuff is so overpriced here. It's like $2 over what I could get from like the websites or from Tackle Warehouse. I've got so many friends that have these promo codes, you know, that they've passed along. When I say friends, it's these YouTubers and podcasters that I've got to know. And so they've got these codes, and of course I use them. Alright guys, this is an experiment. I don't know how this is going to go. We're just going to try to wing it. The fish aren't going to care, but I might care. This crumb bum chenille. Let's go get on right there. Have you noticed I'm more using my hands instead of the actual tool? Isn't that a crazy thing? I don't know, it just feels more comfortable for me. Sometimes I do it. I need you to cooperate here. Thank you for cooperating. Alright, we're going to run this down, way down. Alright guys, this is going to look much different. This is just a red, it's a very basic red chenille. There's no sparkle to it. I mean, it is basic. So, no, we're not doing that, we're doing this. And there's different ways to do it, but this is the way I'm going to do it. Just to get it started. All right. Stay right there. Don't you move. A little short back here, but that's not bad. I didn't do too bad with it. Alright. I know guys are like, man, look how he's holding it. Look how he's wrapping that. Ooh-wee. Let's get this out of the way. Not too bad. I didn't want to make it too thick. I hate it when it's too thick. You know what I mean? That's gonna work for me just fine. I hate that, like that collar. Come on, feather, quit floating around here. Nope. There we go. It didn't come out too bad. I mean, I'm not really excited either way about it, but it's not too bad. Let's take a look at it. Some of these collars, they'll just go up and down on the wrap. Yeah, see, that's perfect. It's a little thicker up here and then it tapers down. I like it tapering down. Man, that actually looks pretty good. I may have to do some more of these. Oops. I need to trim the flash just a little. Alright guys, that didn't come out half bad. Good stuff. Alright guys, I'm going to let you out of here. I'm going to keep tying. Man, this is fun. It's just so chill and relaxing. It's great. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me this evening. I know talking videos and things like this aren't the most exciting, but you know, sometimes you need to change of pace. Now tomorrow I got to try to figure out if I'm going to go to Lake Texoma, if I'm going to go to the Red River, am I going to go to Lake Fork, am I going to go to Ray Roberts, and I've got 2 other lakes I can go to. I can go to Lavon, Louisville. There's another one that I keep, Lake X, which is super secret that I go to. I've been going there lately. All these good places. I got Moss Lake, Lake Murray in Oklahoma, and go to the Blue River in Oklahoma. So I got to try to plan it out and see how it's going to go. But let's take a look how many jigs we did. Let me count them from here. I can see them. I hang them up there. We did 1, 2, 3. Oops, I dropped that one. Get out of there. 4. 5. And 6 is hanging there so we can dry a little bit. Where's my little handy dandy container here? There's some jigs in there from somewhere. Some of the ones I tied right before I went to Iowa. That's that gray craft herring. You can't see it, but there's white in there. That green flash. Man, oh man. Hey, there's an eyeball in here. And you know what? See, these don't have the eyes on them. I could add them on there. Maybe I'll do that later. See? That may be too blurry for you. Alright, so I try to separate the colors. I'm going to put the white ones in here. We're making progress, guys. Those I'm going to fish. I mean, I always get people wanting to ask if I'm going to sell them. Some of the ones that non-turkey feather ones or whatever, I'll probably sell those on eBay. See how they go. Alright. Hey, until next time, I will see you then. Thanks for hanging out. Stay tuned for the next fishing video. And, hey, tight lines, everybody. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.